Hi, this is my review of Stella Donnelly's debut album, Beware of the Dog. So, Beware the Dogs. Yeah. The album itself is pretty cool because it's like about her various relationships with different people, and it's like from people that are strangers to people that like she's in an intimate relationship with. And I think it's interesting just because every song on the album has to do with her perception of these people. So, like some examples. So, on the song Old Man, it's about how she feels uncomfortable with old men flirting with her and her peers and her friends or whatever. And she just goes in depth about that. And I think the song itself is fine. Like, I like the message behind it, and I think it's really interesting to write a song about that. But at the same time, it wasn't like outstanding. I'll get to that later. Like, it's not like the song is bad, but there could definitely be improvements, I guess. So, like, contrasting that, the song Boys Will Be Boys, I think is like extremely good. Like, it's one of those songs I just go back to every few months and just appreciate more and more. So, the song Boys Will Be Boys is on Beware of the Dogs, but it was first released on Thrush Metal, which was her EP before Beware of the Dogs. And it's about just like victim blaming and sexual assault. So Stella Donnelly's friend was the one that got assaulted, and this song is just about how people were blaming her friend instead of the actual abuser. So Boys Will Be Boys is probably my favorite off of thrash metal, and it's also probably my favorite off of Beware of the Dogs, just because of how deep it is, how intellectual it is, how I just really like the message on it. I like the way that the message is delivered, and I just think that like her vocals on it are probably the best as well throughout the album. Like, her vocals on Boys Will Be Boys are some of the best. They're very intense, they're very dramatic, and it works really well with the song. So that's why I like that one so much. But um that's also why I don't like Old Man as much, just because I don't think it lives up to Boys Will Be Boys, even though it has a very similar message. And like, it's okay, Like, I know that Stella can do better, which is why I don't like it as much, right? I think some other highlights from the album are the song Beast. Like, one of the songs that I really liked was Bistro, because it reads like both like you're listening to a couple argue next to you, like if you're like in public or something. It's like you're listening to that when you listen to the song, but at the same time, it also is like you're listening to your own internal monologue, like looking at the lyrics. Let me just pull it up really quick. It's like she goes from saying you walk away, you never loved enough, you're never home enough, to you walk away, no, you walk away, I never loved enough, I'm never home enough. And if you just like listen to the song, you can kind of tell that like the way that it's being delivered is like, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like through this, like, hold on, I wrote it down. Yeah, so the vocals themselves on Bistro are really like airy, like fairy tale-y, like really like happy ending-ish. Where and like the background is like piano-y, and it's got this like ethereal vibe, but at the same time the lyrics themselves are really like argumentative, and it's like you're listening to, it's like juxtaposing itself, like it's very interesting to listen to. And a lot of songs do that, but I think this one does it pretty well. It like masters the art of juxtaposition through the message. It's like, yeah. I also think the lyrics on this album are pretty well written. Some of the songs are kind of just mediocre. Like, a good amount of the songs in the first half, like Allergies and what's the other one? Hold on. Oh, and Tricks. Okay. So I think Season's Greetings, Allergies, and Tricks are probably some of the most weak songs on the album just because they're kind of unoriginal. They're kind of boring to listen to, and I didn't want to re-listen to them. But I think there are some lyrical parts of the album that are really just good. Like the song Die. I know it's sad, but let me pull up the lyrics. So the song is about, I guess, her partner is not communicating with her, and she wants to have her partner communicate with her. So she says, this is probably like one of my favorite lyrics, probably from the album, aside from Boys Will Be Boys, which is like through and through just great lyrically. So she says, but you're always driving all over the road, and I don't want to die. I don't want to die. So I think what she means by this, it's kind of fairly obvious if you have a brain, but like it's like her partner is like caught in this like wave of insecurity and self-doubt and all that, and her partner is not communicating with her, so she's just like, dude, you gotta talk to me or else, you know, you're driving all over the road, and she doesn't want to die. Like she'll be struck like an unsuspecting pedestrian by a drunk driver, you know? Like she doesn't want to be caught up in her partner's like problems if her partner does not want to communicate with her, you know? And I just think it's a really good way of putting it. Like that metaphor of just driving and then getting hit and then like relationships, just getting hit, you know, whatever. You guys know what I mean. So that's probably that's probably one of my favorite lyrical moments. And then at the end of Die, she also says like, you know that I love you, I want to buy you more. It's your bad word. But I can't afford it, but I can't afford it, but I can't afford it. And I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. I just like that. Analyze it if you want, you know. So the title track, Beware of the Dogs, oh my god, Beware of the Dogs, is basically it's about I hate higher political powers and I don't like them, they're all fake. And you know, it's just like a message that a lot of people understand. Like, you know, people with brains understand that people that are in positions of power are usually not completely like perfect, you know, like they're fake. She compares them to garden gnomes just smiling and wanting your votes and stuff. And she says, beware the dogs, like a warning, you know, just like beware of them, they're dogs. Like, okay, the thing is, I like the message of it, but also, like, I like that she's, like, you know, like, saying it in her music, but at the same time, it's, like, obvious. Maybe not to everybody, but I guess to me and, you know, people that were smart, kind of obvious that, like, a lot of people in positions of power abuse their power, and they're not the greatest all the time, and I also didn't like that this was the title track, because it's like the rest of the album has nothing to do with that. Like the rest of the album is about her and her relationships and like her, like how she talks to people, how people treat her based on whatever, you know, based on, yeah, whatever. You know, I think it's just like, I don't think it belongs as a title track. Like, I feel like the overarching message of the album, there isn't one singular message. And Beware of the Dogs is just like this outlier in all these songs, you know, like it's just like it doesn't have to do with anything. Like I like that it's on the album, I just don't like it's the title track. So that's basically my review. I say give it a listen. It's a good album. There are some tracks I won't go back to, but you know, that's how it is. The thing is, like, I really enjoyed thrash metal. I think maybe you should listen to thrash metal first if you haven't, and then Beware of the Dogs, and be like, you'll understand what I mean. You'll be like, oh, this is a really good EP. This album, pretty good too. It's not like as good as thrash metal. I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. It would get a higher score if there wasn't so much filler. Like I thought there was too much filler tracks. I thought it could be a lot shorter of an album. And other than that, listen to it, enjoy it, expand your mindset. I don't know. Just, it's good. It's good stuff. Bye.